November 7th, 1991. The date the world stopped. A 32-year-old man, the most electric athlete on the planet, walked to a microphone and said 3 words nobody saw coming: HIV positive. In 1991, that wasn't a diagnosis, that was a death sentence. The newspapers ran his obituary before he left the building. But here's the question nobody asked that day, the one that took 30 years to answer. What does a man do when the world buries him alive? With $40 million and everything left to prove? Forbes found out. $1.2 billion, the 4th athlete in history to ever reach it. And here's the number that changes everything. Only $40 million came from basketball. The rest, built after the world said it was over. This is the story they don't teach in business school. Thursday morning, Lakers practice. Season just started. Life is normal. Then the team trainer calls a mandatory meeting. No explanation, just be there. A Green was mid-stretch when coach Mike Dunleavy pulled everyone off the floor. Nobody knew why. Then Magic walked in and told his teammates what he was about to tell the world. You could hear a pin drop, Green said. Guys start to cry because you know there's nothing you can do to change it. Then he walked out and faced the cameras. Black backdrop, black suit, 1 microphone. Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers. Calm, composed, almost impossibly so. In the crowd, reporters froze. Pens stopped moving. Jerry Buss, the man who owned the Lakers, ran out of the room sobbing. Kurt Rambis watched him go and said, I had never heard a man sob before, and that shook me. Across America, living rooms, barbershops, college dorms, same thing. One beat writer confessed later. On November 7th, 1991, I was certain Magic Johnson would be dead within a year. That was the consensus. That was the verdict. But then Magic looked straight into the cameras and said this: I plan on going on living for a long time, bugging you guys like I always have. I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to have fun. The world heard a dying man making peace. What they didn't see yet was a competitor finding his next court. Before the billions, you need the basketball, because you can't understand what he built after the game without knowing what he was inside it. NBA draft, a 19-year-old kid from Lansing, Michigan. Pick number 1, 6'9", playing point guard, running the floor like a freight train with a magician's hands. Nobody was ready. In his very first finals, rookie year, Kareem went down with an injury in Game 6. Coach needed a center. Magic raised his hand. 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. Championship number 1, age 19. That's not a debut. That's a statement. 5 championships, 3 MVPs, 3 finals MVPs. A career assists average that still, to this day, nobody has touched. And the rivalry with Larry Bird? They met in the finals 3 times. It didn't just define a decade of basketball. It saved the NBA, made it a global sport. Then, at 32 years old, still averaging 19 points and 12 assists, still the best point guard alive. It ended. No farewell tour, no trophy ceremony. A press conference. The greatest point guard in history, officially retired, sitting on $40 million. And the only question that mattered, what now? Here's what most people don't know. Magic didn't start building after basketball. He started building during it, mid-game, ball in his hands, thousands watching. He looked over at 2 businessmen sitting courtside and asked, how do I get into business? They connected him to Michael Ovitz, founder of Creative Artists Agency, the most powerful deal-maker in Hollywood. Ovitz's first words when Magic walked in: I don't know about representing you. Athletes spend more money than they make. I don't know if you have what it takes. He threw Magic out. Most athletes walk away. Magic came back. Ovitz called a few weeks later. I checked you out. Deal done. Pepsi, Starbucks, a renegotiated Lakers contract. The machine was starting. Meanwhile, Magic went directly to Lakers owner Jerry Buss, asked to be mentored. Buss opened the books. I was shocked, Magic said, to see how many revenue streams there were. He was paying attention, filing everything away. And 4 years before the HIV announcement, in 1987, He founded Magic Johnson Enterprises. The mission wasn't charity. It was never charity. It was business. In the communities everyone else had abandoned, he even had a name for it: magicizing. Strategic partnerships, direct investment, marketing that actually spoke to the people being served. The framework was set. The philosophy was locked. All he needed now was proof. Before we walk through the deals, you need the idea underneath them, because without the idea, it's just a list of names. Here was Magic's thesis, and in the early 90s, it was genuinely radical. Major corporations had spent decades ignoring Black and Latino urban communities, not because those communities had no money, because the corporations assumed they didn't. Magic looked at the same neighborhoods those corporations had written off and saw something completely different. He saw demand with no supply, spending power with nowhere local to go. Communities that had been telling corporations exactly what they wanted and getting ignored for decades. The market existed, the customers existed, the money existed. What didn't exist was someone willing to show up. So he showed up. He called it magicizing. 3 pillars: partner with major brands, invest directly in underserved areas, and market in a way that actually reflects the community you're serving, not parachuting in, belonging there. A lot of money leaves our communities, Magic said, because somebody else owns the businesses. We need our own businesses. And here's the part his competitors completely missed. They avoided these markets because they assumed they couldn't make money there. Magic got rich proving them wrong. We gave minorities a meeting place in the urban area, at a time when they didn't have one. That wasn't goodwill. That was $1 billion insight dressed up as common sense. Now, let's watch it work. 1994. Magic calls Sony Pictures. Major cinema chains had abandoned inner-city neighborhoods. Too risky, they said. Not enough spending power, they said. Magic said, watch. He partnered with Sony to build movie theaters in the communities the industry had walked away from. First location, Crenshaw District, South Los Angeles, 1995. Opening night, packed. Each theater hired roughly 100 permanent employees directly from the surrounding neighborhood. It expanded: Harlem, Chicago, Houston, Washington, D.C. Every market said it couldn't work. Every market proved otherwise. In 2004, he sold his stake to Lowe's Cineplex, later absorbed by AMC. Proof of concept complete. The blueprint was real. Time to scale it. 1998. Magic calls Howard Schultz. The pitch: bring Starbucks to inner-city neighborhoods. Schultz was skeptical, so Magic didn't argue. He invited Schultz to a screening at his Crenshaw Theater and let the market speak for itself. Schultz saw the crowd. He signed the deal, but Magic didn't just plant a Starbucks and walk away. He localized it. Scones? Gone. Sweet potato pie, peach cobbler, R&B on the speakers, extra seating. In. His urban locations consistently outperformed standard stores on a per-customer basis. He built the venture to 125 locations. In 2010, he sold his 50% stake. Estimated payout around $100 million. Same idea, different zip code, same result. Magic didn't stop at coffee. 2004, Magic Johnson Enterprises acquires 30 Burger King restaurants. Atlanta, Birmingham, Dallas, Miami, each one in a minority community, each one pledging to hire local and work with minority contractors. His 24-hour fitness locations in urban markets, members were 24% more active than at other franchise locations. TGI Fridays, Jamba Juice, partnership stakes in Best Buy and JCPenney, different brands, different categories, same zip codes, same philosophy. Every single time, it worked. The corporations that said these markets weren't worth serving had just never bothered to serve them right. Magic bothered. Magic never left sports. He just changed his jersey. 1994. He pays $10 million for a 5% stake in the Lakers, sells it in 2010 for a reported $50 to $60 million. He joins the Guggenheim Group that purchases the Los Angeles Dodgers, takes ownership stakes in the LA Sparks, Los Angeles FC, and the Washington Commanders, co-owns esports organization Team Liquid. The locker room became the boardroom, the roster became a portfolio, and one of those ownership stakes he calls the crown jewel of his entire career. $6.05 billion, the most expensive sports franchise sale in NFL history. Josh Harris's group buys the Washington Commanders, and Magic Johnson is at the table as a minority partner. A kid from Lansing, Michigan, partial owner of an NFL franchise for $6 billion. Magic has called it the biggest achievement of his business career. Think about that. After everything, after the theaters, the coffee shops, the insurance company, the Dodgers, this is the one that got him. Some things don't need context, some numbers just land. Here's the move nobody talks about, the one that quietly made him a billionaire. In 2015, Magic becomes majority owner of Equitrust Life Insurance Company, acquiring a reported 60% stake from Guggenheim Partners. Not glamorous, not a headline, not something you put on a highlight reel. Equitrust grew from $16 billion in assets to $26 billion under Magic's watch, roughly $2.6 billion in annual revenue. And its mission? Bringing Wall Street-level financial products directly into Black and underserved communities. Same philosophy, bigger scale, quieter story. This isn't the Starbucks deal, this isn't the Commanders, this is the engine. And it's been running, compounding, quietly, for a decade. By the time most people had finished counting his franchises, Magic was already 3 moves ahead. Because this was never just about profit. June 27, 2012, Magic launches Aspire, a cable network built specifically for Black viewers. Positive images, stories written, produced, and directed by African Americans for African Americans. At launch, 7 million homes, 16 of the top 25 Black markets in America. He held it 7 years, divested in 2019 on his own terms. Then, the bets on the future. Uncharted Power, a renewable energy infrastructure company. Jopwell, a diversity recruiting platform. Both rooted in the same thesis. Back businesses serving the people everyone else ignores. And then, Detroit. Magic went home. Through the Canyon Johnson Urban Fund, he raised over $1 billion in equity capital, facilitating more than $4 billion in real estate development across America's most underserved cities. You can do good and you can do well. At the same time, he told developers, Detroit is on the way back. The kid who watched corporations drive past his neighborhood was now the one building in it. October 29, 2023, 32 years after the world wrote his obituary. Forbes confirmed it, $1.2 billion. The 4th professional athlete in history to reach it. Jordan, Tiger, LeBron, Magic, 4. In the entire history of professional sports. Now, here's the number that reframes everything. Of that $1.2 billion, roughly $40 million came from basketball. Every dollar above that was built after retirement, after the diagnosis, after the world decided his story was over. The single biggest driver of that billion isn't the theaters, isn't Starbucks, isn't the Dodgers, it's Equitrust, a life insurance company in Iowa. Assets up $10 billion on his watch, $2.6 billion in annual revenue. Not a highlight reel, not a championship banner, just compounding, quietly, for decades. But here's what the Forbes number doesn't capture. 12,000 plus jobs created in communities corporations had abandoned. Neighborhoods that got their first movie theater, their first fitness center, their first real sit-down restaurant. Because one man looked at a zip code and saw opportunity instead of risk. When you have a high basketball IQ, Magic said, you can take that same IQ and translate it into business. Reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself. From the greatest point guard of all time to a billionaire who changed the economic geography of Black America. The diagnosis was supposed to end his life. Instead, it clarified it. Earvin Johnson Sr. drove a truck for General Motors, nights, weekends, whatever it took to keep the lights on. And his son, little Earvin Jr., watching from the driveway, learned something no business school has ever taught. The people everyone overlooks are the ones most worth believing in. That was the whole philosophy. That was the $1 billion, compressed into a single truth. He took $40 million and turned it into $1.2 billion. Not through Wall Street, not through Silicon Valley, not through the zip codes that already had everything, through the ones that had nothing. And then, the detail that stops you cold. When Magic was 20 years old, entering the NBA, Nike offered him $1 per shoe sold, plus 100,000 shares at 18 cents a share. He turned it down, took $100,000 a year from Converse instead. If he'd taken that Nike deal, the number today wouldn't be $1.2 billion. It would be incalculable. And somehow, even without Nike, even after the diagnosis, even after the world called it a tragedy, he still got there. November 7th, 1991, the day the world said it was over. October 29th, 2023, the day Forbes said $1.2 billion, 32 years, one thesis, one community, one man who refused to believe retirement meant retreat. His name is Earvin Johnson, but they call him Magic. 5 championships on the court, $1 billion off it, and a community that will feel him forever. Now, we want to hear from you. Magic made dozens of moves over 30 years. The theaters, Starbucks, the Commanders, Equitrust. What do you think was his single greatest business decision? Drop it in the comments. We read everyone. If this story hit different, share it. Someone in your life needs to see it today. Hit subscribe if you're new. See you in the next one.